You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Labs with Bayut.com. Today we're going to be discussing from relationships to algorithms with the CEO of Luxfolio Real Estate, Richard Grieve. How are we?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
Very good to see you. You well?
Thank you for having me on. Very excited for this.
Good. First time we've had Luxfolio in the studio. Very happy to have you here.
I appreciate the invite and looking forward to getting stuck into this.
Let's sort of dive into it. Obviously today we're going to be discussing anything from sort of relationships within real estate to algorithms and how tech is now sort of being involved in the day-to-day running of businesses and whatnot. But beyond the sort of the stuff I usually talk about here, price points and all that sort of stuff, how has the buy property market changed over the last sort of decade, would you say?
It's went from a relationship market, I guess, to a bit more of a data market. I mean, 9-10 years ago, you were relying on the agent to say, this transacted at 3.2, buy this unit, this is the best, Marina's going to go up 10%. And you were kind of at the mercy of whatever the real estate agent told you, right?
Yep.
When now, and again, I know we're going to get into some of the juicy stuff with AI, but now within 10 seconds on your phone, I can pull up more information than a real estate broker can probably give me and probably knows, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I mean, within a click of a button, even on the basics of ChatGPT, which everyone's using now, I can pull up Marina price reports, I can pull up the last 5 transactions, I can pull up floor plans, I can get predictions from the leading places in the world on what that subsection of the buy is going to do. So to answer your question, the data's there, that's been the real change. A broker cannot now stand there and go, I really think you should buy this because this is a good price, etc. It's all there. The buyer, the seller can do their own research and within 10 seconds can have everything on the phone that they need to make that decision. So the main change that I've seen is definitely data and everything being a lot more readily available to the clients.
Yeah, so what would you say is the main change from a broker maybe 9 years ago to maybe the sort of tech and data driven broker today? What are the main differences?
Well, you need to know your stuff. Let's face it, we both know a lot of brokers were probably blagging their life. Maybe they still are back in the day. And I'm not saying everyone was going around saying what they want, but you could come up with statistics that maybe wasn't as fact checked as what it is now. So brokers nowadays need to be extremely knowledgeable because the client will catch them out. The buyer will catch them out. The seller will catch them out. They need to know what they're talking about. And that's why it's important that a broker is an area specialist and understands what they're actually trying to sell. So the main difference for being a broker nowadays is you really need to know your stuff and you need to be in the know.
So obviously there's been a lot of change in real estate over the past decade, okay? But more importantly, at Luxfolio, what are you guys implementing internally, tech-wise, AI-wise, to support your business?
Yeah, so that's the juiciest question of the lot, isn't it? That's where everything's going, and we're really, really trying to lead the way on these systems. And to be clear, I'm probably not qualified to talk about them. I've got some amazing tech guys, and shout out to Jack, our operations guy, who's building a lot of this stuff. But we started by building bots, essentially. We have a HR bot, we have an onboard coordinator bot, and we have a PA bot. So the PA bot is one that I'm using now. And instead of this being base level ChatGPT, which I think most people are on, you're using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
This is completely off that. This has been self-built and it connects to everything within my phone. So my reminders, my calendar, it links into everything. So I'm now just at the point where I'm recording essentially a voice note into this, going, set me a reminder for today, I've got a Bayut podcast, prepare notes, and that will just automatically sync into that.
Okay.
And I'm doing this through the app. I'm able to send emails now. So I could go to my PA bot, send Chris at Bayut an email send my documents, mention X, Y, and Z, and it will just write the email for me. It will automatically send it to you. It will go into my drive. It will take out my passport copy and my Emirates ID for referencing my docs and send that to you. So I'm not actually sending an email. We've managed to link it to our WhatsApp, so it's sending WhatsApps for us as well. So this is just where the kind of market is going, and it's going to, unfortunately, as we know, replace a lot of jobs. If anyone listens to podcasts, it is coming. I'm watching it firsthand. I'm watching stuff that I'm like, wow, that is actually going to replace a PA's role or a HR role or whatever. It's definitely getting to that level, which is quite scary.
Yeah. And is that like something you're going to continue to look at building and enhancing?
You have to. I think we're going to have to. If we're not doing that, you're just going to get left behind. You talked about data before, so we've built a data system. If you can go back, cast your mind back when you used to go into real estate companies, people were working off Excel spreadsheets, right? Yeah. And they were working through an Excel spreadsheet, trying to find sellers and landlords, whatever. Like, I know some companies are still doing that, which is crazy, but we've used AI to link it all together. So we have now a system called Data Hub, and we're currently in testing phase for Data Hub 2.0, which essentially is taking the owner of a property that we've dealt with, matching it to every other single property that we own and filling in the blanks. So we've managed to create a database across Dubai of every single person, what they own and what they do. And that's the way that technology is going. And that, compared to what the Excel spreadsheets of back in the day, it's crazy where it's going to get to. Wow.
Do you ever worry about losing the human element of some of these potential roles that you have at this?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you see on all the time when you listen to a lot of the leading voices in Dubai real estate. They talk about this, and certainly it's going to be the PAs, it's going to be the admin roles that will go first, for sure. That's going to happen. That's probably going to happen by the end of the year. I'm in a position where I don't think I'm proud to say it, but it's happening. I'm going to have to, or will be, replacing the human element with bots, essentially, because they are getting that good. From a real estate broker's perspective, you need the human relationship, and everyone will tell you that. For now. Maybe for the next, it's hard to put a timescale on it, for the foreseeable, let's say. But in the future, you can get your Joe Rogan tinfoil hat on here, and that will really start to change. And I am seeing that. We created a thing called Lexi. Lexi lives in our CRM. Lexi was able to go through and speak to, automatically WhatsApp, every single client that we've ever dealt with. So they're engaged with Luxfolio. Hold conversations on WhatsApp. We trained Lexi to be we can train Lexi to be aggressive, we're going to train Lexi to be flirty, we're choosing her personality, which again is just mental. Lexi was engaging with clients left, right and centre. Clients had no idea that we were dealing with AI, or they were dealing with AI, sorry, and it was able to just regenerate. Someone that inquired on Damac Lagoons 2.5 years ago, got no interest in that now, but was turning around and going, oh, actually, yeah, I'm looking for an investment in the Palm. Lexi was then taking that information, pinging it through to our broker. So with our broker needing to do absolutely nothing, they were getting a message from Lexi, which is a bot, saying, speak to Mr. Mohammed, he's interested in buying on the Palm. Like, that's crazy, right?
It's good, isn't it? Because essentially you're just mining your own database, right? And trying to, an investor who you may have worked with 2-3 years ago might be in the market, but you might not know that. So that's automatically reaching out and then connecting you, I guess. So it's generating more leads again, eh? But it's essentially another lead source.
Of course, it's cutting edge though, and we're trying to push it because things go rogue. Lexi arranged a few dates and had some awkward conversations, and we'll be honest on that. But that's now. Where we're going to be in 12 months' time. You must have seen it yourself from just even ChatGPT. I don't think you could drop a photo into it about a year ago. You could just type. All brokers were using it for was write me a description for a property or something. Where now, I'm watching my brokers take an image, a photo that they've went and taken to list on Bayut as an example, and the photo's terrible. They've taken a photo of a kitchen, it's got a tenant in and it's full of stuff. They're putting the photo in and just going, tidy up this kitchen, repaint the wall, remove the dirty dishes, and the image is coming out perfect. And then if you go and look at the quality of listings online, you can see that people are using technology to edit them slightly.
Yeah, look, I mean, content on the websites are a lot more cleaner now, descriptions are a lot more better, titles are a lot more catchy. So yeah, I mean, this AI is helping out in loads of ways. I mean, obviously over us being a tech firm, we launch new projects regularly, right? We've got an absolute army of people who are just working on this stuff, experts. This is all they do day in, day out. So we've got the Bayut GPT, where you can type anything related to the portal on there. Agents and end users are using it. So rather than going through the old-fashioned search style, they can now do it through the GPT style, and it can pull up listings at certain price points with pools or whatnot, and only show them what they're actually looking for. So yeah, look, it's amazing. Obviously, we've got the portfolio powered by AI coming out as well, where we can actually look at the leads that are coming in and tell you, we can give a transcript of the lead, so the managers can now see what their agents are saying on calls to the end users. A lot of amazing things are coming out as well from our side to try and help not only the end users, but help the brokers as well, right? My next question to you would be, so companies are focused. I mean, obviously there'll be other agencies out there focusing on AI as well, but you guys are taking a big leap towards it.
Yeah.
What tools are available for end users there in the market?
So buyers are able to very, 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 very quickly educate themselves on what they're looking to buy, which is important. And you couldn't do that 10 years ago, as we discussed before. You were relying on the broker, and not every broker is so trustworthy. So, but now you're able to just dive straight in there and get every single bit of information that you want. You can pluck up floor plans within 2 seconds on pretty much base level AI, so you can get a floor plan in front of you. You don't even need to ask the broker for that now, to be honest with you.
Does that make a broker's job easier or more difficult now?
Much more difficult.
Yeah?
Much more. They cannot blag or they cannot spurt out information that is not correct. You need to be trained, you need to be an area specialist, you need to know your stuff, because nobody wants to be in a position where they give a bit of information and the client looks at you square in the eyes and goes, that's not correct.
But would you say that the quality of lead now is better because the end user's more educated, so than whereas before you might have got a client say, I'm interested to buy something, but I don't really know what I want, I don't know what area I want to go in, and I don't know what my budget is, and you have to start at the process of working all that sort of stuff out, taking them on several viewings, taking them through transaction prices and ROIs within certain communities. As of now, they can look at ROI at themselves. They can sort of narrow down the communities in terms of what the amenities are, and all this is available online, right? So you would probably say like a buyer maybe 6 or 7 years ago was probably a lot further away from the transaction to what a buyer right now would be, because the education level is a lot stronger.
Well, obviously everyone's different. So there is people, buyers that don't even know this technology exists. So you've still got the buyers who are help me, guide me, whatever. People will still go to the broker and go, especially if they've dealt with that broker multiple times, and go, where do I invest? What's hot, what's not? So that's always, that is there for now. But yeah, the job of a broker is much harder, because the client is much more educated, as you're saying. They're coming through, and before they even pick up the phone now through Bayut and speak to the agent, they know what the transaction price is. They've got the floor plan in front of them. They've used everything that we're talking about to really, really narrow it down. So you've got much more qualified buyers. And this is where you start thinking down the line. I've watched so many people sit on podcasts like this and go, AI will never replace a real estate agent because you need that personal relationships, blah, blah, blah. Which is fine, which does sort of make sense for now. But when you're watching how fast it's going, within a year, the buyers are already coming through more qualified. Okay, that little negotiation bit at the end when someone's trying to buy something will need to be figured out. But brokers there will probably be less brokers in the city in the future, because a lot of this stuff, or a lot of the job that the broker does, is going to be getting taken away from them. And we are building stuff that is doing that and watching it firsthand. So in 10 years time, I don't know what it's going to look like. I really, really don't. Everyone is still trying to recruit brokers and trying to grow. And we, of course we are. But I don't know. I think that will change in the future for sure.
It'd be interesting to have a little glimpse, wouldn't it?
It would be very, very, very interesting to see what it looks like. But I do find it funny when I see people on interviews, and they use the same line, AI will never replace a broker. I don't know. I'm not so sure for some of the stuff that I am witnessing, and I don't think it's going to happen now, of course not, but we're going way, way down the line. It's going to be really interesting to see where it ends up.
So would you say data is more powerful than relationships at this moment in time?
Oh, that's a question, isn't it? No, I wouldn't. At this moment in time, relationships are very, very important. Of course they are. Buyers want to deal with someone they can trust. At Luxfolio, I'm going to give ourselves a little plug here. We've got some unbelievable, fantastic agents who have unbelievable, fantastic relationships with their clients. The clients will only deal with them, and we know the game. But as we're seeing, as we're going further down the line, the data is going to become more and more and more visible to everyone, and the relationship aspect might start to die off slightly in the future as this technology just keeps going and going and going, which is a bit scary, maybe a bit sad to say, but it's definitely where I see it heading.
As I mean, even from the sort of basic necessities in life, if you wanted to phone a takeaway, you would have to pick up the phone, speak to someone, place your order, and then have to speak to the delivery guy on bringing it to the door, right? Now it's the case of you go onto an app, you hit what you want, and then it turns up and it's hanging on your door and you get notified to go and collect it, right? Human interaction, and this is what kind of worries me, right? Human interaction seems to be dying off, right? Even when we look at leads, you're probably talking high 80% of leads that we generate, maybe between 70-80% of leads, you could say, would maybe be WhatsApp leads now, right? So, whereas it used to be, people would want to pick up the phone and just have a quick discussion and ask the questions. So the sort of human interaction side of things is slowly but surely disappearing, right? Will that take place in real estate? Because you're purchasing such a high valued asset, right? You probably will still want to have that element of comfort there where you can sit and have a discussion with someone and go through the numbers together and speak to them opposing to just messaging back and forward as well, because WhatsApp can be frustrating as well, right?
It can be, and you're right, for now. I keep saying for now and for the foreseeable, whatever that looks like, but the rate of which, even over the last, 12 months that I've watched what we're able to build 12 months ago from what we're able to build right now, that rate is scary. So yes, for now, they're going to want the human being there, they're going to want the relationship, and for the foreseeable, but at the rate that it's growing, that interaction, or the broker's job has got many, many, many elements to it, and in each of those elements are probably slowly going to start to get slightly replaced. You've always got the end bit, you've got the negotiation, but I don't know what that looks like exactly. I'm not able to predict. As you say, it would be amazing to see down the line and what that looks like, but in the future, I don't know if that'll be, if it'll be completely taken over, but I've got a funny feeling it might be.
Surely we're not going to be completely useless at some point, all humans. Just sitting there, what's working for us?
What they're talking about now, universal income or something I seen on the podcast, that all these people are just going to need to be paid from the government because nobody's going to have jobs. But I mean, you're talking about, Deliveroo and just being able to do that. That was 5 years ago, whenever it was, but the rate that it's grown, it's sort of gone like this, and it's just accelerating. And the fact that anyone now can just edit an image, create a video, and it's scary where it's going for sure.
It's amazing how powerful ChatGPT is these days and the stuff you can get from it, but half the market's still using it for caricatures.
People are still, there's always a lot of downsides to this. I actually cannot get rid of them caricatures that people are doing. But again, as I've learned recently as I'm getting into this, ChatGPT is the basics. That's the customer friendly whatever that people can just jump on. The stuff that we're actually using in the background, that we're paying tens of thousands of dollars to be able to use, is ChatGPT times 10.
Steroids.
It's able to link into all your apps and everything, and it's quite incredible actually.
Okay, just to sort of finish off where we're at, what really excites you about the future of Dubai real estate?
Well, nothing. I've said we're all going to be unemployed during this podcast, so probably you should take a backward step on that. What really excites me is there's obviously a lot of handovers and new sections appearing. If we go back to 10 years ago, Talal Al Gaff wasn't a thing, Damatlagoons wasn't a thing. I think Dubai Creek was even announced back then when I was there. And these cities, if you want to call them a city or whatever you want to call them, just appear out of nowhere and they become unbelievable. So it's a bit of a generic answer, but I'm excited to see what's the next thing for Dubai. They ain't slowing down, that's for sure, and they keep building some unbelievable destinations. You can't flick through your timeline without seeing this announcement and that announcement, and we've got obviously Palm Jebel Ali, which will become a thing, and all the stuff in Abu Dhabi. So very excited to see what the future communities look like for sure. There's some really, really exciting ones in the making. It'll be really interesting to see where the hotspots and the centres of Dubai become.
Perfect. Well, everyone at home, thank you very much for tuning in today. Richard, thank you for obviously joining us. It's been great to step away from the traditional market prices, what's happening in the market, what's going on, and sort of dive into the tech and AI side of things.
Yeah.
If anyone's looking to purchase a property, anyone's looking to rent a property, sell a property, or have any general inquiries with regards to real estate, I'm pretty sure Richard and one of his team at Luxfolio will be more than happy to answer those questions or needs. Once again, Richard, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning into the Real Estate Lab.
You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut.